Check.
All right. We are, I think, recording. Hope recording. Not. Oh.
¿Qué pasó, mi amigo? Entonces.
This nigga. See, look. First week it was a white girls. Now it's the Spanish girls.
Latina.
You know what's one of the craziest things somebody told me?
What?
I call up Cody if I need a beat.
She said, "You look like you only talk to."
Oh, that's crazy. I know exactly what you're about to say.
She said, and this is one of my subordinates.
Man,
she said, "You look like you only talk to." She said, I don't know if she said mixed or light skin, but she said you look like you only talk to light skin girls and Spanish girls.
Dude.
And I was like, there's a running joke with some of my friends that like I'm always dealing with like a mixed girl. And I'm like, no, I deal with black women. I deal with African women. I deal with women of all flavors. But, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because I remember when I was in college and I was minding my own business.
Okay.
You know, I was completely innocent.
This
right?
nigga, he never innocent. All right, go ahead.
I go on Facebook and I see a post of somebody tagged me in a video of I got tagged in a video basically the dude that only dates white girls, and I was like, I got tagged in it, like they shared it, put my name on the top.
Oh yeah,
so it shows up on my page,
that
so
you only
all
date
my
white
friends
girls.
see it, all my family see it, and now I got questions like, what's going on here? And I'm like, wow.
Facebook's diabolical. Facebook was diabolical.
It was, because it's not like that no more.
Things I learned never to do on Facebook as a kid. This is a great, thank you for bringing up Facebook. I think I only did like a rate like once. and you know what's worse than a rate that like a bad rating? No rating. I think I did like once or twice, and like nobody commented, and I was like, oh, I'm lame. Like I was like, oh, weak as hell. Like, or when you want a girl to do your TB honest to a rate, and it's just like your friend and like the one weirdo or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to the weirdo though, because that was the real one. But back then it hurt. It didn't feel that way. No, it felt bad.
It didn't feel that way.
It felt like I had no motion. You know, so yeah. But yeah, we are fucking back. Back and better than ever. I'm Tone.
BK.
This the fucking Cousins pod. Gang. Best pod in the... I'm not just kidding. Like, I'm really competitive, but shout out to all the people going out, making podcasts, doing the good things out there. You know what I'm saying? We want to be in good company. So, we trying to be consistent with it. But thank you for coming back, saying what's up, kicking it with us. But, yeah, man, it's a lot going on in the world. Man, you know, social media is very humbling. Social media is, for men, I think. Okay, yeah, I had some good topics before we get into the sports and all the good shit, you know, the fun shit. But I think for men, right, one thing I've learned, it's not attractive to be vain on social media as a man unless you are like explicitly physically attractive, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when I say that, I mean like, you can get brand deals off of how you look, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think other than that, it's a very, from how I feel when I see other men being vain, and how when I see myself being vain, I feel like it's like, I don't think it's valuable, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still vain at times on social media, but I think that like, I try my best not to, because it's just kind of like, all right, bro, you trying to get likes from the like,
no, I feel that I feel like it's more of a pretty privilege thing too. Like,
yeah, right,
like,
yeah.
They very attractive in general, and I think the thing is most people, or at least if you take a poll, most people will say women generally more. So that's why they can get away with it a little bit more.
Yeah, and I mean,
general,
like,
so
I think it can be problematic for women, like not just in the sense that women like can take advantage of it. I think that's fine for the most part. I think but it does raise the standard of how I feel like women have to perceive themselves in like society, right? So like, there's that trade off of it, but I also think it kind of I don't know. It positions you weirdly sometimes. And so like you know when you're trying to build relationships over social media and stuff like that, which I think the best way to build a relationship is in person. You know,
easily.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, like I have a couple internet friends, but I'm not a big hey, all my friends are on the internet kind of guy. And I think the internet's changed so much that that's kind of people are kind of going away from that. You know, people. But you know, I know some people are like, oh, my closest friends were on Twitter, and I'm like, yeah, they were. Like,
yeah, I feel like there was like a big period of time where internet there's a large people
yeah,
like grouped up. I don't know what time. I would probably say like
from like
2016 to like 2020 to 2022 or somewhere. And then now it's starting to revert back to being more in person.
Like more analog, more just chopping it up. I mean, even what we doing, man. You know, like I think we have good conversations, and you know we have good things to say. So that's why we do the podcast. But like, you know, there was really a space. You know, now it's kind of like a bear market for podcasts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people, you know, you see that like sometimes I like leaning into the joke of being a male podcaster because like I do think a lot of male podcasters just be on bullshit, just saying whatever.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But no, I think it's like not something that is like a commodity, right? Like the way that like there was so much that was centered on being online, and I think we all kind of realized collectively, or not all of us, but a good portion of us are like, all right, yeah, like the internet's cool, but like it should really be more supplementary. It shouldn't be like the center of my world, you know?
Yeah.
And I know tech companies now, they trying to like the metaverse and AI and all these things, but I think at least where I am in human history, I think I'm looking at stuff and I'm saying I like being present. I like being in the world, and I like being able to impact people through direct interaction. You know, I don't like trying to be the wittiest of the day or like, you know, commenting like, you know, like, and not to you know, I'm trying to work on not monopolizing the conversation, but when I deactivated my threads a few weeks ago. Some of it was because I was like, all right, I'll be having fun saying bullshit on here, but like, it does add up. Like somebody might put a picture together of you that ain't really what you trying to be. And so I'm like, like as much as I like bullshitting on here, just saying whatever because of my mind.
Yeah, you might go viral for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
you get taken out of context.
Right, and not even just like by strangers, more like the people in my community and people who know me, who follow me. Like, you know, like, and that's kind of what like there's people I know who follow me who I was kind of like, all right, let me see who really paying attention to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me just fuck around. And but I think also I'm pretty authentic in how I communicate with people. Like, I try not to bullshit too much, and so I think I'm very willing to share parts of myself. But I was so busy trying to like do that always. It was kind of like I'm giving people this whole blueprint of who I am and how I think and doing all this shit. And it's not that I don't mind sharing that information, but it should mean more, right? Like you should have to, in my opinion, interact, connect, have a discussion, learn about me for me to be just giving like information. Like it shouldn't just be, okay, here, just know everything about me so that I can maybe one day turn this into like wealth or opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts in terms of like how social media has shaped how you interact with the world and socialize with people and stuff like that?
I think it's funny because I don't want to say too much because there was a Black Mirror episode based off of this actually. Okay. So like social media was pretty much the basis of how you get, how you make money.
Is that the Kaluuya episode?
I forget. No, Danny Kaluuya.
No,
it was like this. It was this girl.
Was it Dallas Bryce Howard, the redhead? Was it like a score? Like you got a score?
You get social credit score, whatever it was. Yeah, social credit score is based off of so pretty much everything you do or post on the internet, your how many followers you have, how many posts you have, how many likes on those posts you have. You pretty much can't make a mistake in life, or you can't do certain things, or else it's gonna plummet your social credit score, and that's pretty much your living expenses basically. basically that's how you live. And for me, that's not like life that I would want to live. Because if I notice myself and I'm on social media a lot, that means I'm not doing anything.
You're not doing.
I got
too much free time.
Yeah, way too much free time. You gotta find something else to do. So
yeah,
that's pretty much what.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is for me. If I'm on social media too much, that means I got too much free time. Like I put limits on my on what like just now I went on Instagram and I was looking at the limit and I was like, oh yeah, I can't go back on there for the rest of the day or something. So
yeah, I mean, oof, fuck. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, maybe that should be the do like Invincible.
I call up Cody if I need a beat.
Like, I'm gonna do that. But no, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, social media is tricky for me because like you see it, a lot of my work is visual, right. Creative, so I have to be engaged with it and I have to think about it. I almost have to think about it in a non-validation, building a storytelling kind of perspective. And I think what's weird about that for me is like, one, you don't know how it's going to come across, right? Two, I've learned that like, you talk about social credit, there's also social currency. There's what is it called? I always talk about this shit. Now I can't remember what it's called, but it's this phenomenon basically. And I'll probably remember it later. No, actually, fuck it. I'm gonna look this shit up. It's like, you gotta sneeze. That's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, nah, it's a lot of know this shit. Okay, I figured it out. Okay, it's called status anxiety, right?
Okay.
And so basically the concept of it is like people tend to not want you to ascend past their level, right? So if you have a childhood friend or if you have somebody from your church or you have somebody from your workspace, right? They don't hate you, right? But the idea of somebody working to ascend and having success, especially if maybe they are working on something or maybe they tried some things and they failed at it, it causes them to resent you. And so they won't always support you. You know what I'm saying? And so when I learned that concept, it made me realize a few things, right? Like, for example, I go outside and, I had a little run a few years ago with like my social media shit. I'm proud of it. It was stupid shit, but you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas spend years trying to go viral on one time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So to go on that run was impressive for me, right? And people who didn't like the shit would be like, I paid too much attention to social media. Like, I pay too much attention to what's going on and how people are responding to things. I'm always trying to learn from it, right? And so people who I know for a fact never liked my shit, saying, bro, that shit's so funny, bro. Oh shit, like, you going viral, bro, da da da. And I'm like, but you don't like, you don't fucking like it, you don't share it, you know what I'm saying? But you pay attention to it. So I see a lot of people complaining about that on social media, especially because I'm in that space. So people are all trying to get the attention and the acclaim and shit. But for me, I'm like, okay, no, people are paying attention. Maybe not everybody want to be paying attention is paying attention. Maybe not. And maybe sometimes people will watch, but it doesn't resonate enough for them to send a like, Also, maybe your relationships in real life aren't strong enough to validate people saying, I want to support this person through social media. I want to give them that seal of approval. And also I think, just like money, right? There's an economy, right, of attention, currency, right? Yeah. And so like we saw just like the internet, super big, everybody on it. Oh, this is the future. And what's going on? It's been shrinking. Even what's going on in this country right now, not to be political. Like, I mean, like I don't care about being political, but I don't think that's the vibe that this podcast is going for. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this is a regression to a mean of sustainability, right? And those who are trying to enact it are not like being equitable, charitable, or even just, in my opinion, in a lot of cases. But this is a natural progression, right? And so like social media is in a similar place, right? Where like people are giving out likes and giving out viral attention and people are getting brand deals and getting money and all this shit, even though people weren't, but it looked like everybody was looking like they was getting free money and getting free attention. Now people like, nah, unless you one of them big motherfuckers, like you might get a like. unless I fuck with you, you getting like. But I've noticed that. Like I noticed not even just my stuff, like just in general, people are just more stingy with giving things validation. So
Yeah, because they know those likes are money. They're pretty much giving us money.
that's
what it is.
That's what it is, you know.
Yeah.
So you have to go out and find it, right? Like so when I'm doing the shit, and I'll get off my little preach soapbox in a second, but like when I'm doing this shit and we posting clips or we doing, you know, it goes. There's a lot of time that's for me. It's a science, right? For me, it's like, okay, how do I find the audience? How do I get consistent enough that Instagram, because IG, TikTok, these platforms reward you for acting a certain way. And the goal of IG, for those of you who are marketing, listening, all this shit, free game for you. And you don't have to pay me for this next time. But like, the key is keep people online, keep having conversations, keep people in keep yourself in the orbit of people's algorithm, right? So like, I try my best to always, if I'm commenting, be genuine in what I'm commenting, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm still like, okay, yo, I put some shit out. I should be commenting on something every day or messaging somebody or liking something every day to keep myself in the algorithm. But especially on the day where I'm posting shit, I gotta, yo, what's up? Hey, haha, that's what's up. That's what's up. Like, okay, that's cool. I fuck with this. This is dope. How can I support you? Let me know. And so it's all in service of Instagram saying, okay, we gonna show you to more people now. Okay, making sure the content we making is resonating with people. Chill on me. I'm just kidding.
This guy.
One text.
He looking for that one text.
That one text.
It's that one text.
I get like 2 texts a day, bro. No.
He just got the 2 texts. You saw that. You noticed that. Right?
look, he trying to gas it because look, I do this to him a lot. But no, all bullshit aside, like, but you want to keep people on the platform, right? So and so I get it, bro. Like I get like, no, you're not getting my free attention, and especially if you begging for it, fuck you, no. Like,
nah, time is money, man.
Yeah,
time is money. So
yeah, so
as long as you can keep somebody engaged, you pretty much got their attention. You got their money, man. Because it take time to make money. That's pretty much what it is.
But also, you know, for this pod, for everything, YMD, all the stuff, like the goal is to have my own platform, like my own funnel. Like, yo, people just go straight to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think the internet has been a gift. It's been dope in a lot of ways, but yeah, motherfuckers like, oh no, like it's time to come get my. Like, I'm here running my shit now. Yeah, like IG make your shit look shittier if it don't got enough engagement. Like they like, why am I wasting bandwidth on a lame ass nigga? Like I'm like, damn, like I spent 14 hours on this bitch, and they like, yeah, okay, but okay, well make sure you like how it looks on your phone, cause it ain't gonna look like this on fucking on IG. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool though. Spent longer on that than I wanted to, but I thought that was a good kind of warm up. What any other thoughts before we move on to our next little topics?
Nah, I think we talked. We covered pretty much everything there.
Okay. I'm not quite ready yet to get into sports because I had a really crazy week, and you know I love talking about the game, the game of the game, and I had a dope convo with a mentor figure, and she's very successful, right? Like in terms of just like kind of just getting out there, doing very credentialed, just super cool. And we were just having conversations, and I think I'm starting here because I just think like there's a lot of conversations men need to be having with men with each other that we not having. And one of those conversations is really like, for me, like, yo, like, how are we being like, how are we playing that role of masculinity in the way we supposed to, right? And for me, what supposed to means, we should have pride in being providers. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, and not providers in like, I control the woman or like, do what I say, blah, 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 you know, all that shit. But like, nah, like, we shouldn't play this game, but like, because I think if you provide for others, you'll be provided for. So no matter what, I think it's something we as men should be making sure we have good discernment. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's a big issue. Like niggas are like, they blow their shit off on any girl who touch their arm a certain way. Some shit, you know what I'm saying? But
No, I feel that.
you know, so what are your thoughts in terms of kind of that realm of thinking and just where are you at in life with that conversation? Any part of it. Whatever resonated with you.
Having discernment? Well, they're having discernment for sure in general, because I know a lot of people, like, once you, at least boys growing up, we're very visual. So
and it was a bad time to be visual.
There was a bad time to be visual
because it was easy.
But back then we didn't have social media like we have now. But now we got social media.
Yeah. And
with algorithms, the way certain algorithms are set up,
you like one
thing turned to another.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it again, but it's kind of like this is kind of like there's another Black Mirror episode that was kind of like you show this, and I know everybody's seen how you start talking about something, how you want something, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's right there.
Yeah,
you're on Instagram, and all of a sudden you're talking about anime, and then they got, oh, look at these anime shirts and your name on it, and you know your last name, they know everything. You're like, that kind of look good. I might want to get that.
Yo,
you gotta be like, yo. If you're on Instagram every day for 2 hours, and you keep seeing it over and over again, and you keep falling into that trap of buying that one thing, all of a sudden, boom, and you look at your bank account, now you ain't got no money in there. So that's discernment. You got to be able to know what you want. You got to be able to like block out what you don't want, or basically know what you don't need. Have your priorities straight, and then basically just have your priorities straight, and you can move forward without regretting the choices you made in the past.
What are some things that you and I'll share too, but what are some things that you've regretted about like lacking discernment, you know, back in the day, you know? Like specifically college to post a couple years college age. You know what I'm saying? Like that 22 to
you know,
24. Them first few years
those first few after college paychecks, after you've been broke for a long time, you start getting those big paychecks. You start spending a little bit of money. Yeah. That felt good back then, but now you're like, should have saved a little bit more money.
What's something you like
spend it on?
Yeah.
Like going out basically.
Okay, so get the huzz.
Man, I like that.
Get drinks. No, I'm just kidding. But like for real.
But I mean, yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah, being outside. I'm talking shit. But
you had a lot more time back then, you know, to go out, have dates and stuff. Now you don't got that kind of time, which means you don't got the same amount of. You don't have the same amount of, you know, money opportunities. So you got to be more efficient with how you spend your money. Back then, you could be less efficient, but if you look to the future, you should be saving more money, because the more money you save earlier, the more money you have later.
Yeah.
Especially with, you know, inflation. So
no, I mean, precious metals, you know, things that, especially right now with like the stock.
Oh, one more thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
One of my friends told me about crypto early on when it wasn't as big.
I hate them so much. Yeah, go ahead.
But if you had invested what you needed to back then,
oh my God,
you would be in a pretty good situation now,
bro.
But I'm gonna hold off on that for now.
Nah, we should definitely sit down and have a conversation about the financial episode. Like we got so much to talk about, like playoffs and sports wise. Like I don't want to get too down like this rabbit hole, but I agree with you.
Yeah, but it's not just not just crypto for being crypto, but crypto more so because we're being more technology based.
Yeah.
Like you don't see a lot of people with cash money.
Right.
Like there are people that use cash, but a lot of people, everything is on the internet. Everything's locked up in, like, even when you play video games, you got V-Bucks, you got all that stuff. All we do now is convert money from one thing to another. So crypto, you don't have to necessarily invest in crypto, but you should be investing in crypto. Yeah, but
I'm not saying. I'm not saying like
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
What I'm saying is,
I get you. Yeah.
all the money now is in conversions,
Right.
and that's how you're gonna make your money for the most part. If you're buying crypto, or if you're buying, like, if you're like, yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff where people are buying like yen to convert it to dollars.
That's
It's
forex,
different,
like
foreign
exchange.
foreign exchange.
The real forex.
There's
not
money.
The,
There's
not
money
the
in that.
courses.
Yeah, there's some
No
interesting
offense.
things in there. I'm not gonna get into that, but if you know what you're doing, you can make money from that.
Yeah.
But I think the future is gonna have a lot more crypto, foreign exchange, even technology. Yeah.
Well, I mean, cause to kind of get this part closed and also talking about other things, I think, commodities, right? Like understanding what commodities are is just, if you can make something valuable, if you can convince people of something's value, you'll never be broke, right? And so like, I think another portion of discernment is being able to say to yourself, hey, how am I learning how to like create value, communicate value? What am I investing? Because I think the greatest currency of mine in my life, like I had a conversation on some illicit drugs at the time in college. And I was at the Miramar. It's one of my like most like, you have those stories that clarify something in your mind and define your life for a long time.
Yeah.
So this guy, he owned the Miramar, and what? Should come back on? That's crazy. Anyway, he owned the Miramar. That shit just was like, okay, I'm back. I had to take a little break. But he was telling me about like, one, he said that I seemed different, and I think I was off the tabs, and so I was like, I was there, but I've never been somebody who like, I can have fun, I can go and get drunk and have a good time, right? But like, my natural disposition is to understand the situation, right? Like, see what's going on. I just enjoy observing. I enjoy finding moments, right? Like, and so I was just kind of trying to see what I was trying to figure out. Like, I was like, okay, like, this is interesting. Now I'm seeing people dancing and doing this. I'm seeing this dynamics of the space. I feel like I can almost see people's aura and their internal energy and shit like that. That's why I enjoy partaking in certain substances at times, because it changes your perception of reality. But you gotta be careful with that shit. I'm not advocating for that. So stay in school. Don't like let your brain develop, kids. But he had said like, let your figure out what your currency is, right? And so I decided that night, or not that night, but I decided as I thought about that more, that like probably knowledge and like time and just connections were my currencies. Those were the things that I was gonna say, these are what I'm gonna value the most in my life, right? Another conversation I had was with one of my homies, who's a roommate. He said the most successful person in Silicon Valley was this guy who just would connect people and not even ask for a favor or anything like that. And so like, those mindsets were things that shaped how I figured out what was going to be important to me. Like when I left my last job, I like a stable paycheck, right? You know what I'm saying? But I believe I can create value through the work I'm willing to do to learn how to create the value, right? And so I think that's just important. And that goes back to that whole provider piece of like learning how to provide, learning how to be of service for others, right? And learning to have joy in that, right? Not just doing it so that you get some shit out of it, but being like, no, like I'm at a good place, and I'm grateful for this place I'm in, because like, even this, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is sometimes difficult, right? When we was first starting to do it, I'd be kind of frustrated, because I was like, I'm putting all this shit, like, I'm the only one who can figure this shit out, like all this shit. And I'm like, well, one, nobody told you to be the only one to do everything. You just chose to do that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, people appreciate when you can figure stuff out, and that you're proud of the fact that you figured shit out, like that you just do this shit because you love to do it, right? And so instead of making it about the outcome, I started making like loving the process, right? And so like today when I was putting shit together, I was like, nah, just fuck with this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't the end of the world, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm setting something up. I get to chat with my cousin for like an hour and a half, and then get to go on by my day.
Hey, doing it for the love of the game.
Facts. And for that bread. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, come pay me. But like,
The people that do for love of the game, they get the bread eventually.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I love that I do it, and every time I level up, it's amazing. Like, and I used to be excited to share, and I wanted people to be like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" But now I'm excited that I did it. Like, I'm like, yo, this shit lit. Like, I did that shit. Like me, like I didn't think I could do this before, and now I can do this. So I think that's just important. Overall. So yeah, but that's cool, man. I think we had a real good segment, but I am definitely ready to talk about sports. What you want to start with? You want to start with playoffs, WNBA, Brewers? What you want? What do you want to go with this?
Well, first of all, Dame's back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gotta start with that.
Big Buck season.
Yeah, found out.
Big Buck season.
Yeah, I was a little worried there for a minute. You know, without Dame, we were gonna have some trouble.
And how they did us last year with the Giannis pump fakes?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I still think we could have beat the Pacers. We could still beat the Pacers without Dame.
Yeah,
personally.
I think so too.
It would just probably take longer. But I think with Dame, I'm looking at,
Bucks and 6.
I'm thinking it's sweep, Jeremy sweep.
Oh wow, ooh, you talking spicy.
I'm thinking it's sweep, Jeremy.
Bucks in 5.
I mean, if Dame starts game 1, yeah. But if game doesn't start,
I think
if he
doesn't,
doesn't,
game 3. That's what I would.
If he start game 3, then it's probably be like Bucks and 6. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say who, but and it's not a crazy place, but I just sent in a video to be an on-air personality for like a Bucks show or whatever. So I'm waiting to hear back. Hopefully, manifest that for me, y'all. But like, I was talking about how I felt like the Bucks had a good chance in the series. I felt.
You mean last year?
No, this year. I said my prediction was Bucks in 6, and I said like without Dame, probably Bucks in 7. Jericho Sims coming back made it Bucks in 6 for me. Dame coming back still makes it Bucks in 6. Just reintegrating defense. Like I really liked how we looked without Dame, and not like we're better without Dame. I just liked how we were playing. So reintegrating those pieces, I think could be shaky. What do you think the key to the series though is for the Bucks to be successful?
They gotta target Haliburton on defense, but also you gotta limit Haliburton on offense. He's gonna get his assists regardless, because he's just that.
He's a great playmaker.
He'll get to. He's a really good player, and as much as we hate him, we hate him because
he's from here too. So fuck him specifically.
He's been cooking us,
yeah.
He's been cooking us for a long time. But
I hate Jimmy Butler, but I
still respect him.
I respect all the players,
respect him,
and I don't hate them as in like if I saw them outside, I'd be like fuck you. It's just no like man to man competition wise, I want to see you fail. I want to see them fail, not just because of my team's in front of them, but also because they've embarrassed my team. So
in that aspect, I think he's probably the biggest. That would be the biggest challenge for the Bucks, and also
I think just space, guarding space.
Yeah, you might have to limit them Brooklyn. I ain't gonna lie.
No,
we'll have to see about that, because if you have Brook in there, they're gonna be targeting him.
They're gonna cook him.
They're gonna try to run up and down the court. I don't know if Brook is going to be the best person for that. You might have to play that Giannis at 5 more.
Well, I like Sims. Even though
if Sims comes back,
no, he's back.
But for defense for sure.
Yeah.
Even offensively, I don't think he's that bad, because he rebounds. Offensive rebounds.
He's a athletic big who can go and
catch a lob. He go up there. He got good chemistry with Porter.
Yeah,
Porter had good chemistry with all the bigs, really. So
just to go back to your point about Haliburton, in my video I said Tyrese Haliburton, the people guarding Haliburton last year were Malik Beasley, the ghost of Pat Bev, Dame Lillard, and rookie Andre Jackson Jr.
I don't think they really put Dame on Haliburton, really.
But I'm saying that's who he had to deal with. This year Haliburton has to deal with Taurean Prince, who he's slow-footed but length, a good positional defender. AJ Green, a little undersized but strong positional defender. Fucking Ryan Rollins, who has been a great defensive guard this year. Gary Trent Jr., who has been whooping shit. Kevin Porter Jr., who's been whooping shit. Like,
Nah, the Bucks need to have that lineup as a lot.
Yeah,
Gotta be that
BP,
Giannis
Giannis at the
yeah,
5, BP at the 5, but Giannis at the 5,
KPJ,
Trent,
Gary Trent Jr.,
and AJ Green,
and Giannis and BP. That's gotta be
a staple.
In that because
No, and also I was gonna say, the other thing I talked about in my video, because I was like lurking the Pacer sub like on Reddit, just seeing what they had to say, just whatever. And so
this man out here, he think he's Sun Tzu out here.
Oh, hey, Art of War.
He said Art of War.
Art of War. Hey, no lie. Hey, all them books, man. Look, I'm a war general. That's a Drake line. He said I'm a war general.
Yeah, war general. Yeah, okay.
The hard part. No, but they were talking about how like they had a lot of comebacks, and so what I've been seeing on the Bucks sub and what I've been preaching and saying is like, if the Pacers have bad habits, right, and are shooting themselves in the foot, we know they can go on a run, but I think that lineup is the key to stopping them from being like that might be crucial.
That might be their closing lineup.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you might start off with Giannis and Kuz and
also
Torian
Kuzma,
Prince.
Yeah.
But you probably gonna end up with that at least with Damon's out, you're gonna have KPJ, AJ Green.
I mean, I guess you close with Dame, so
situationally, if Damon's in there, but I think the first two games he's not in there.
Yeah,
they definitely have to be the biggest.
I wouldn't bring Dame back until at least game 2.
I get it. Yeah, I get that.
See if you can win without him. Like even though they said he recovered well and stuff, like
he should still definitely. He still got to get back into game shape.
Yep. So yeah, like maybe game 2 bring him back. So you just so he can get into rhythm. And we still got 2 home games. If we lose, like. But he's a rhythm shooter. Well, we know he's a rhythm shooter. So if he's in there, you gotta run the offense through him. You gotta feed him. I mean, we talked about this last pod too. One thing real quick before, because I want to talk about just our predictions for the playoffs, the play-in, stuff like that. I think Pascal Siakam's also going to be an important factor in the series for the Pacers. All right, bro. I guess you just do what you want to do. But I think he's going to be an important factor for the Pacers in the sense that he has a lot of experience guarding Giannis and is a decent deterrent against Giannis at times. Not like he's not going to hold Giannis, but if he can hold as a frontline defender and limit Giannis and force him into some like decision making stuff. Although Giannis is a much better playmaker than he was 2-3 years ago. And even then he was getting better, but like I think people have slept even with that whole like 11 game streak of like 12 assists. Like I still think people are sleeping on his playmaking ability, and
that's fine.
That's cool. I'm happy about that. But really, I think it also matters offensively, right? Like if we can make Siakam uncomfortable as their number 2 option and really their primary scoring option, if you like, Tyrese is their primary playmaker, but he's best when he's facilitating the offense, right? Like he can score, but he's best when he's able to.
Yeah, because then he gets open for open looks.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what we don't want to happen.
Exactly. So if we can stifle,
make him a scorer, or make him have to score.
Yeah. Don't let Siakam, get any momentum. But that's why, like, people have been shitting on Kuz a little bit here and there, and Kuz hasn't been great offensively.
So
but
you think put Kuzma on Haliburton?
No, I was saying put Kuzma on Siakam.
Siakam.
Yeah, just have him on Siakam. Have Giannis be, because I know they're not gonna start Sims, right? But like have Sims be the first big. Or damn, how do you do that?
But who would you have on Haliburton then?
Shit, Torian Prince to start.
I don't like that. I ain't gonna lie, I don't like that because Haliburton's fast.
Well, I'm saying if KPJ is the starter, you have him on Haliburton.
Yeah, I can see that.
You have Ryan Rollins and like KPJ start on Haliburton, right? Because Nembhard is a good role player, but he's not a star. But he's cooked us before.
Well, it sounds like they should probably play more zone.
I wouldn't do zone because they can shoot. They're good in space,
especially at home.
Yeah, they can shoot. So I don't think a zone would be smart. I just think ball pressure, you force like. I wouldn't do too much trapping because Haliburton's gonna just pass out, but like definitely just staying attached to shooters, clogging passing lanes. I mean, Gary Trent's gonna be good for that. He's been a good at steals for the past 3 seasons, but you know, yeah, I don't know. Like, let's see, because the starting lineup right now would be what it was Rollins, right? Rollins.
Yeah, it's
Prince,
Rollins. Prince, Kuzma, Giannis, and then Brook.
Versus it'd be Haliburton, Nembhard, I think probably Neesmith.
Probably not Nembhard. I think Nembhard comes off the bench. I think it'll be Neesmith.
No, because
Is it?
It's Neesmith, but then it's Siakam and...
Yeah, it's Neesmith, Siakam,
that's 5.
Miles, and...
Nembhard makes it 5. I
feel like there's someone else.
There's Ben Mathurin and
Mathurin.
TJ McCollum, but I think Ben Mathurin's off the bench.
Mathurin's off the bench?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I mean, it could be Ben Math at the starter, but yeah. All right.
So they'll have Pascal Siakam at the power forward.
Yeah.
Miles okay.
At this, yeah, and then there's TJ McConnell and some other random motherfuckers I don't care about. So yeah, I'm pacered out. So let's talk about the playoffs broadly. Play-ins were kind of meh. Other than
both the home teams lost in the 8-9. What was it, the 9-10 matchup?
Yeah,
the Kings and the Bulls. They both got blown out.
I'm sure they both wanted to go home, bro. They just were like,
it wasn't even
like
both those teams basically Bulls, the former Bulls.
Yeah, they said they turned the Bulls West.
It was the Bulls and the Bulls West.
They
Crazy
both was like,
work.
man, fuck it, let's just join and make it. Remember that Gabe Lazo's video where it was like, they were like the Suns and the Kings just became one team. That's the Bulls and the
dude. That's crazy because I think that lines up perfectly.
No, for real,
dog.
No, rest in peace to the Suns. Rest in peace to
crazy
Bud.
Work.
Bud is
you know what's crazy?
What?
All the coaches that got fired, all the names start with Mike. Mike Budenholzer, Mike Malone, Mike Brown.
Only Taylor. The only one who. It's a bad year for Mike's in the NBA, but it's a great year for Mike's too. That's a
bad year for Mike, bro. If the Memphis loses, that means if Memphis and the Nuggets lose the first round, bro, that means all the coaches that got fired, their team is all lost in the first round.
It's just so interesting, like this year, where it's like they all just were like, yeah, fuck it, like just. But
it's almost like they conceded. They're conceding to a team, but I don't know what team it is.
I mean, what's interesting is the Pelicans and the Kings are both like doing. The Pelicans just hired Joe Dumars to be their fucking front office person.
Yeah, I heard they're trying to trade Zion off season.
Yeah, and Zion will probably get a lot better once he leaves Pelicans, man. Like, yeah, shit. Like, yeah, convince them to take that. I'm just kidding. I like Dave. I want Dave to stay. That would be a lick.
That'd be crazy work.
That'd be crazy work.
Don't send Zion to Miami.
Oh Lord! Oh, God. Please don't ever send Zion to Miami. Please,
yeah, please don't. Please don't send that man to. We talking about discernment?
Yeah,
don't send that man.
Well, see,
Do not send that man.
Either Zion becomes a GOAT in Miami or he washes out the league. There's only 2 options in Miami,
that's what
bro.
I'm saying.
There's only 2 options. Like bad crash out.
Dude, when he got a beard, somebody was saying that he looked like a Ghanaian. I was like, and I looked at him and I'm like, you know what?
I ain't gonna lie.
He could be my brother.
He
could be my brother.
Y'all could be brothers.
Yeah, I was
y'all
like,
could be brothers. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's when I was like, I can't be associated with this man if he out here doing
gooner,
this stuff.
Man. The first gooner, bro. This generation.
Yeah, his didn't pop up, mine didn't pop up. No, I can't have that.
That's crazy. That's definitely getting clipped up. That's definitely getting clipped up.
His athleticism, hey, I be in there. Hey, look.
Hey,
he's my brother.
Yeah, Charlie. Nah, man. Nah, pour one out for Zion's career, man. But
my West African brother.
But yeah, and then the Kings got Scott Perry, former GM of the Knicks, but like the ones that weren't the good Knicks that we've been seeing the last 5 years. So
I think the Pelicans will be fine. The Kings.
The Pelicans are not going to be fine. The Pelicans are going to always be a garbage franchise.
Well, we'll see.
They got Chris Paul,
I like
AD, and Zion.
I just like the Joe Dumars. I like Joe Dumars.
But I don't like what he did in Detroit.
Well, not the recent, not like earlier on in his Detroit years,
I like him as a player.
Yeah, but when he built, he was part of that 2004 championship.
Oh,
team.
was he?
Yeah, that one that beat the Lakers.
But still, like, that's a different era.
Yeah, but I'm saying I like what he did then.
Yeah,
maybe he could turn around, but
fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, I'm not gonna hate on. I'm not gonna kick these teams while they down. Like they already and we getting kind of close. Like we have Jimmy Haslam as an owner. So
low key, you were kind of right because the Pelicans, they had Drew Holiday, you had Rondo, they had Boogie, they had Anthony Davis, all on the same squad. The same squad that year that the I think this is the second year of the Golden State Warriors dynasty.
Yeah,
I think they had won the first game.
And I mean, like, David Griffin wasn't like a great GM, but I think he drafted pretty well. Like they got Trey Murphy, Dyson Daniels, like a lot of wing talent, but they could never stay healthy. And also, I just think Willie Green, he's not getting fired, but I just don't think he's a great coach.
Some coaches just like placeholders.
Yeah. So
and that's what I think the Suns been trying to avoid. But then now they're gonna be paying him for another 3 more years.
See, look, what the Suns need to do is go ahead and fleece. I'm glad I remember this topic because Jeff T talked about it on his pod. I didn't finish it yet, so I ain't biting it yet. But KD to the Rockets, that might solve the Suns' problems. But it depends on who they can get them to give back because they got a lot of talent over there.
Yeah, I was thinking he's going back to Texas somewhere in Texas.
Yeah.
He went to Spurs. He went to school in Texas.
On the Spurs?
Probably not the Spurs.
I know, but if he were on the Spurs,
not the Spurs.
That'd be a crazy. Him and Wemby?
It'd be nice, but I don't think it'll work.
I think it'll work, bro.
Wemby, KD, how many years KD got left? Well, actually, but then again, they do have Castle.
Yeah. But you're going to have to trade probably a Castle to get him. You got to trade Castle.
The problem is they might still be like a year away.
No, but here's the thing. No, bro. They can be nice with it, bro. Get Fox out of there. But they
just got him.
Okay, so what?
They just gave up what, 2 first rounds for him?
Yeah, but you have Stephon Castle, so he can be the point guard, right? You still have probably gonna have either Kevin Vassell or Devin Vassell or Keldon Johnson still, right? They get they get a point guard and a wing. Y'all get KD. You still have Stephon Castle. You still have CP. Wemby is damn near a top 10 player already in year 2. Like the only reason why he probably people would be calling him, he might have made the playoffs this year, especially with how the West ended up. They might have made the playoffs this year.
Man, West is so stacked though.
But I'm just saying, I feel like Wemby's gonna have a crazy next year. So
yeah. Well, it depends on how the blood clots work out.
Yeah, but I mean, if look, the Spurs.
But he's tall. But he's 7'6" with blood clots. That's different from 6'3", 6'2".
Yeah,
with blood clots.
I think a good thing though. I think was it his shoulder?
His shoulder, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it was in his leg or something like that,
it'd be
a different issue. But I hope he comes back and has a good next season.
I think he'll come back. I'm just that is a worry. Blood clots.
Yeah, no,
especially that early on. Well, I don't know.
He's been playing for like his whole life though.
Yeah,
but you're right. He's still young for it to be like, oh, okay, like we got to be careful. But who knows, man. All right, let's get into back to those playoff predictions. We talked about the play-in already. I mean, or who you think's gonna win between the Hawks and the Heat? I think the Heat probably.
I think the Heat because I
hate the Hawks.
The Heat just.
I don't hate them. I just hate watching like the Hawks organization. Like everything about them just.
They probably going to trade Trey.
Which
they might have to because
they just need something.
Yeah,
Trey
got to go somewhere where he can go win.
And I like Jalen Johnson. He's from Milwaukee. Like he a good player, but they need a guy And I think Trey, I was listening to Lou Will and Chandler Parsons today. They were talking about like Trey being a good guy who probably needs a guy next to him. I like the idea of him going over there to San Antonio, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I would have liked that. That would have worked.
That'd have been nice.
That would have worked.
That'd have been real nice.
I agree with that. That would. And if Trey was the one there instead of Fox, then I'd be like,
really
if they traded for Durant, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think Stephon Castle's going to be a great point guard. But, yeah, I get what you mean. Like, Trey is the guy already.
But you're right. If they are serious about getting Durant, they probably got to trade back Castle. They probably would have to trade Castle.
They're not
it's going to be either Castle or Fox. But if they're rebuilding, they're probably going to get – I don't know if they're trying to rebuild or if they're trying to stay. But if they're trying to rebuild, they're not taking Fox. Or at least if they do take Fox, they're trading him right away to somewhere in the East.
I mean, they need a point guard though, and they need a big.
Yeah.
So anyway, so let's see. So the matchups for the West is we don't know the 8 seed, but I'm taking the Thunder. Probably over.
Yeah, Thunder's winning that. Yeah, but again, it was Memphis and. Dallas, Thunder over both those teams.
Yeah, although
actually, Thunder and
Dallas might be tricky. It might be tricky. It might get tricky.
It could get tricky.
It could get real tricky.
Because Clay was hitting them shots. He was on.
And the Thunder, they don't do great against size.
They don't do great against size. They got three big guys.
I think the Thunder they might be there, but I think. We just got to see them win. That's all. I'm not doubting the Thunder. We just got to see them win. But I'm going to still go with the Thunder safely. If they go against Dallas. Wolves, Lakers.
I got to go Lakers, man.
I'm gonna just go Wolves for the drama. I'm going to go Wolves for the drama. Anthony, you know what I'm saying?
I got to say Lakers because I gotta go Lakers because
Luka and LeBron.
First round, LeBron. Come on, and you got Lakers, and you got Luka and
Austin Reeves, AR, white boy. White boys up. Tyler Hero 38 last night.
Yeah, Tyler Hero.
White boy hoopers.
No, playing Tyler Hero is crazy.
Yeah,
he be going in in the playing.
No,
playing Tyler Hero is something different.
Somebody
playing Tyler Hero is something else.
Look, he might be one of the playing goats, man.
He might be.
Pat Bev and
it's too bad. It's too bad those stats don't matter. Those stats get wiped away from the record.
Care, just like the NBA Cup.
But yeah, I gotta go Lakers because I'm not really scared of Gobert necessarily. And like the Lakers, the thing you gotta beat them in is like the big man. Yeah. And I'm not that terrified of Gobert as an offensive player.
I mean,
maybe their defense.
Yeah, but the Lakers have been a pretty strong defense as well.
But I think the Lakers have beaten them. Like, what was it? I think they're 3-1 against them this year.
But did they play them with Luka? Because that is something they can exploit defensively.
Maybe 1 or 2.
They can hunt Luka on switches.
But the Timberwolves couldn't exploit them last year. Pretty much the same squad.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be a great series. I think it'll go to probably 6.
Yeah, it could go 6.
Yeah,
I think I gotta go Lakers in 6.
Yeah, if I'm going Timberwolves in 7. But yeah,
Timberwolves. I think Timberwolves would have to go 7 to beat the Lakers.
Do we know who the Rockets are playing? Who they're playing? The Warriors. Oh, Warriors.
That's a tough one.
Warriors.
I'm gonna go Rockets. I like Rockets.
I
saw what the Rockets did to
Curry.
Yeah, they held him to 3 points. And I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I think that's a 7-game series though.
I just feel like institutional knowledge for me is what I just can't get here and say like to myself that the Rockets are ready to take out the Warriors. I like the Rockets. Yeah. I like the Rockets.
That's my only issue with the Rockets. They're young. I like the Rockets a lot though, bro. Like Tari Eason, Amen Thompson, young guy Reed Shepherd, even though he hasn't really got a lot of playing time. The one thing the Rockets have home court advantage for one.
The Warriors don't care.
But
about
also,
that shit,
I will be worried about Jimmy Butler going trash talking to the young Rockets. That'll be an X factor to me.
And Draymond and Jimmy Butler talking
Draymond
shit.
and Jimmy Butler. You know what?
I'm just saying the psychological.
Now that I think about
that psychological warfare of that series.
I might have to.
They got
Warriors.
Dylan Brooks. They got Dylan Brooks.
Nah,
stand on the Rockets, bro. Stand on the Rockets.
But other than Dylan Brooks, who else is gonna be?
Fred VanVleet's tough.
But he not gonna be like
Jeff Green is tough. You talking about who gonna take over?
Let me think about this a little bit.
I mean, they have good. I think the Warriors.
I'll stick with the Rockets for 7. I say Rockets
just
7.
for the drama.
I say Rockets in 7. But if the Warriors win, it's because Jimmy Butler and Draymond.
Steph Curry,
tough,
bro.
Man.
Like I just don't think Steph Curry going down to the
he
Rockets.
Ain't going down without a fight, especially.
And they hate Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
And they hate the Rockets organization because of all them playoff battles.
That's true.
So that's my okay.
I feel like the Rockets are still a year away, which is why I'm skeptical about it. But I'm still go Rockets in 7.
Yeah. What's crazy is the Timberwolves are technically like a young team. They're not because they have like.
I don't trust Randall.
They got Randall and
I don't trust Randall like that, especially because sometimes you can see if he's not getting the ball.
Yeah, he got bad body language.
And his efforts on defense can get exploited, especially if you got Luka and LeBron and Reeves on the same team. They just passing that ball. He missed a shot. He walking back. Boom, outlet, boom, slam dunk.
So like Reeves is not Kyrie at all, like in terms of like, but it's interesting. Like you have like a LeBron and Luka who both play with a Kyrie, and then you have Austin Reeves, and like that's like kind of the evolved form of what got. I mean, defense, and they don't have like great defenders, but they have a strong. They have
Vanderbilt is a great defender.
Yeah, and they Rudy's got size.
And Finney Smith is a good defender.
Yeah,
3-and-D.
LeBron can defend when he wants to. Hayes
they could exploit that. They could exploit that Mike Conley matchup.
Yeah. I could see Mike Conley not having a great impact on the series. Nuggets, Clippers. I'm taking the Clippers, but I think it's gonna be like Clippers in 7.
7.
I think Jokic is gonna give him hell.
I might go Clippers in 6.
We'll see.
I think Clippers either way, but
yeah, I think it's Clippers. I'm excited. I'm happy that Kawhi.
Kawhi better stay healthy because I think the Clippers got a real shot this year.
No, I would like to see James Harden make a finals this year. Like
it's about time he got to.
Yeah, I mean he made one. He
made one when he was Thunder, but
yeah,
he ain't played well at all.
And the thing about the Clippers, like, no, they don't have like a bona fide superstar 3, but Zubac has been great this year, and Norm Powell has been a great scoring option this year. So they have a team. Like when Norm was like addition by subtraction, like it was a shot, but it was a valid shot. Like Paul George, I mean, he probably getting ready for podcast season.
Podcast P.
Yeah,
I expected Paul George.
I mean, respect, but like, hey, bro. All right, cool. Yeah, so we talked about the Lakers. We didn't get to the East yet, but it's kind of whatever over there.
Who's the 4-5?
Us. No, I think 4-5 is Nuggets.
Oh, okay,
yeah. I think we talked about all the series in it. So in the East,
Celtics and Heat. Probably.
Although I think that's gonna be a fun series.
Celtics, Cavaliers, and Heat.
That's gonna be a fun series.
And then it's gonna be Celtics and Magic.
That's gonna be like Celtics and 5, but it's gonna be a fun.
It's gonna be a fun 5.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun 5 for sure. Shout out Magic. They just weren't healthy, but like in 2 years, that's a compelling series.
They need
a point guard.
Yeah, they need a point guard. For sure.
They need a point guard, and they need like one more shooter.
Yeah, they need that. Well, Wagner.
No, just like an Isaiah Joe
Oh, you mean off the bench?
They just need more space. They don't have a lot of good scoring options on that team, so they just need like 1 or 2 more shooters and a point guard, and that's a lot to kind of ask for. But if they can draft one guy who's like a 3-and-D guy that they can grow.
They could get Clayton from
Florida.
Florida.
I know. Oh yeah,
from Florida.
Oh yeah.
Unless he gone in the lottery, but I don't know.
We'll see. that is interesting. A lot of these teams aren't in the lottery that we're used to. There's some teams that get to.
Yeah, Canepo might be. Yeah, I think he
declared.
He declared.
He declared. Yeah, so that'll be fun. We already talked a lot about our series already. Okay, is there any other? Oh, I'm going Knicks, and it's funny because the Knicks were like my like backup.
Knicks for what?
Versus the Pistons.
Oh yeah.
But the Pistons are kind of my new support on the low team, even though they were kind of getting a little. I didn't take it personally, even though like we beat up on them, so I don't hate on them. But I like the Pistons, man. I like Cade. He's a guy.
I do like it. I like the Pistons.
I like what they building over there, man.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were building much, but I like what it's turning into now.
If there's one thing that the Knicks are gonna struggle with is they might not get fatigued in the first round, but over the course of the season,
that first round gonna kick their ass.
Yeah.
That's gonna mess them up.
The Pistons ain't gonna down.
It's gonna be bruises. They gonna
the Pistons got beef with them. They got beef with the Pacers.
They got beef with
I think they got beef with the Knicks. The Knicks too.
Yeah.
So low key, hey, I remember somebody was standing over. Somebody got fouled and they were standing over. Who was it? Well, somebody was standing over one of the players for the Pistons, and then somebody else. And then
you might be talking about the Timberwolves.
Then PJ Tucker went over and stood over somebody.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
I don't know which one that was, but I can't wait till they expand the league and the Minnesota come to the East, and so the Pistons and the Timberwolves can get at each other every year. Nah, yeah, that but nah, that's gonna be a rough. And New York's physical team too, so it's not like, but they just.
And Detroit's serious too. They didn't let people buy tickets from outside of the state.
No, that's the only reason why. Like, I'm not gonna say that the Pistons are gonna beat the Knicks because I just don't think they're.
I feel like it's but
I don't think it's gonna be sweet. I don't think
it's not gonna be sweet
at all.
Nah, that Detroit crowd go crazy.
Yeah, bro. And
it's probably 6. They gotta go 6 at least.
I'm glad Detroit is getting good at basketball again, bro. Because they're one of them. You know when they talk about like this is a good basketball city, right? Like. We from Milwaukee. I love my city, but like, I ain't gonna lie. When I was at that Pacers playoff game, I was mad. I was like, we don't got no heart. We don't got no heart in here.
We had that heart when they had the Bradley Center.
Yeah, because we had nothing else
to
fight.
We had nothing else to fight for. Yeah.
Now we just. But there's some cities that it don't matter what era of basketball it is. They gonna ride for their city. They gonna show out. They gonna be rowdy. They gonna be tough. We're hard working. We're hard nosed. We get up and we do our job and we work hard and we're proud of the work we do. But we not, and we're gritty, but we not. We not tough.
That's like the Memphis, the old Memphis.
Yeah. And Memphis is one of them cities. You know what I'm saying? Like Memphis, Philly, even though they'll never get their shit together.
Yeah, they crazy fans though.
Oakland used to be like that back in the day.
Where they moved to? San Francisco.
Yeah, it's all yippies and rich people now.
It ain't the same.
What other cities? I mean, Detroit, yeah, obviously that one. Houston's cool. I don't know if they're like known for that.
Yeah, not really.
Not really. What other any of the teams that you would say are?
Well, Indiana is kind of.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Indiana got a nice crowd advantage.
They
man.
go crazy.
Yeah, like respect. I hate they fans on some like rivalry shit, but like I respect. Their fan base.
OKC too.
Yeah, OKC.
Their fans go crazy.
Over there.
Their fans go crazy. Too. But they got that college crowd.
Yeah,
that's why.
And also, yeah, that's only major sports. No, do they have a baseball team?
OKC.
Yeah.
Nah, they got like a minor league team.
Okay, yeah, but that's the only thing they really have.
If Seattle had a team, they would.
Once Seattle get their team back,
when they team together,
yeah, they gonna go crazy over there. Yeah. That's definitely one of them.
That Las Vegas team not gonna have that crowd though.
Yeah, and then of course the Lakers, but I think Lakers.
That's just because it's the Lakers.
Yeah, and it's not really like Lakers are more. Their fan base is more like delusional and like famous. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like.
They're like the Yankees.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're not scared to go into the Showtime because of like the crowd itself. It's more about the perception of like what's gonna happen if y'all lose or if you get embarrassed or you could get a contract. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people watching the Lakers, right? So
Yeah, everybody get healthy when they play the Lakers.
Yeah, everybody tough when
they play the Clippers. They're on the injury. On the injury
Clippers.
report.
I stayed the night out. I chilled. I chilled. I
Yeah,
went out that night.
But against the Lakers, nah, we gotta show out.
Yeah,
because you know who out there.
The Huz.
The Huz out there.
The Huz out there. I might get my new fly out, my new link.
Yeah. Cause all it takes is one good game. You ain't gonna get that kind of. Not gonna get that kind of exposure with the Clippers. But
right.
Against the Lakers, you're gonna get all of it.
And here's the thing, bro. Like, you might not be a famous NBA player, but you are still an NBA player who was making at minimum $900,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, you might be. They be like, yeah, it's hard being a rook. Like, it's hard when you being a rook and you trying to go band for band with Brian, right? You know what I'm saying? That's a hard life. But if you a rook and you just chilling, do your job, you could have a nice little year with that. Even though you're gonna have to pay taxes, you could have a nice little year with that $900,000, that $1 million.
Nah, but that Lakers tax is crazy. LA.
But you take
California tax crazy.
No, because you probably take home like 400 of like $1 million, bro. Like, but still 400 is not like.
That's why you gotta get accountant.
And that's why you also gotta get a brand deal. Like,
yeah, you gotta get a brand deal. Well, then again, playing for Lakers, you gonna get a brand deal.
Get a brand deal.
That's the other part.
You know what I'm saying? You gonna sign something. So
other people don't want to play for they don't want to play for Toronto because they got high taxes. And
Toronto's also a fan base. That's another one that got a rowdy.
But they probably don't get as many brand deals.
You don't get nothing
unless you're the top player, top 2-3 players.
I don't think you probably don't get even DeMar probably was missing out on some like bags. Like, he probably do better in Sacramento than he did in Toronto. And no shade to Toronto in terms of like being a city to be at, but it's just
a nice city though.
Yeah, Toronto cool.
From what I hear.
Yeah. That should be a goal. We should make a trip.
Goal, yeah,
Toronto, Cousins Pod, making content, but also like we should just go to have fun and not be in America for a little bit. Anyway, maybe 2026, man. Yeah. Shit, 2025, it ain't unrealistic.
Well, for me, is it?
Oh, you be busy though, yeah.
Yeah, maybe next year.
I be living off the vibes. All right, cool. Let's get to those other little topics and we can close it out. You know, this is a good pod, but we've been chatty. All right. So we said, okay, yeah, the Fantastic Four trailer, the Marvel. Is Marvel back, bro? Is Marvel back?
I wouldn't say it's back yet.
Will they be back after Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, or do we need to see Doomsday and Secret Wars go crazy?
I think we need to see Doomsday and Secret Wars go crazy.
I've been seeing a lot of. Or let's talk about
But Daredevil, I like Daredevil. I like the direction that went.
Okay.
There's some other shows that if they come back, I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
Like the Defenders series, like
you've been on
Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist. If they fix the,
so you like? Did you like the season? It was a good
for what
for Daredevil. You watched?
Oh yeah, Born Again. Oh yeah, it was a good season.
How many episodes
really good
was
season. 8 episodes.
Why did I hear it was gonna be like 18? Why did?
I don't know. It's only 8. I think because they already started the shooting for season 2.
They probably just split it. They probably did 8 and then they're gonna do 10 for season 2.
Yeah, but I think they did start shooting for season 2.
I've been seeing some reports on what they. So I never watched the original series.
Oh, okay.
So I never really. I wasn't excited. Not because I didn't want. I just never got into it like when it came out, and so.
Yeah, I hope they're bringing. Well, you're gonna see the Punisher in there.
Yeah, I mean. I'm gonna watch the full series, so it's gonna be a nice little. Now that it's all out, you got to give me the sign in the verification because they was tripping off my little account.
Hey, we can't say that out here.
I'm gonna bleep that out. I'm just saying that. It's gonna be.
They gonna call you like, hey, we saw your podcast. You said this in between 9:22 and 9:47.
Hey, look.
You said this, and this. Is this true?
Yo, Disney got off. They said somebody signed up for a Disney Plus account, so they're not liable for killing them. I said, y'all are insane, bro. That's a crazy defense. But look, I might bleep that out too because I don't want no smoke. Like,
hey man, they got power.
Them lawyers are elite, man. Shit.
Ain't messing with them,
man. But
I think Fantastic Four will be interesting. I gotta see what they do, what storyline they go with, because
I'm excited.
With Doom, we always gonna have some. So
I want Doom to be like a Marvel villain, not a Fantastic Four villain.
Yeah, he should be a Marvel, but I think it's gonna be a Marvel villain.
I hope
think
they don't fuck that up.
But see,
man.
but that's what Doomsday. That's what the Doomsday is for.
But I want him to be around, like
forever.
I hate that they just get rid of like villains so fast.
Yeah,
Man.
they do.
Like you can just have some villains that, like Zemo. I like what they do with Zemo.
I would have liked that Kang, but that whole situation was, yeah. Kang would have been a great. But he was supposed to be the villain that or keep around, and it would have been nice because just strictly talking acting. But
I mean, somebody said a few things that I agree with in hindsight. First thing they said is they shouldn't have positioned Kang as the next big bad. He should have been like an Ultron type guy, like, you know what I'm saying, like a point that represents a shift, right? And if they had done that instead of kind of like trying to keep all these different variants, because I think even for me, it kind of got to a point where I was like, all right, bro, like this shit like kind of convoluted, you know. I liked him in his Loki appearance, like season 1. I never saw Ant-Man 3 because it looked like some bullshit, so I just didn't go see it. I thought
him in Ant-Man 3 he was the best. That was the best part.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
I heard he was the best part about it.
The rest of the movie was
just some bullshit.
Yeah. I was like, where are you going with this?
Yeah.
Until they brought in Kang, and I'm like,
No, I mean, Jonathan Majors, for what he does as an actor, is an engaging actor, but I mean, bro just seemed to be somebody who people don't like, and also the allegations.
Too many allegations.
Yeah, man. So
can't be all wrong. Can't be all.
Yeah, shout out to him for bagging good though. Supposedly, like.
Yeah, I think they're
allegedly
they're engaged. I think.
Yeah, allegedly. Supposedly. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. I'm talking shit, but yeah, but I get you, man. But also, I think. So I think those two things kind of hurt them, and I just think we didn't need a big bad. We just needed like some. It was like they wanted to throw whatever to see what would stick, and I haven't. You know, when we were, I think if you were a comic book nerd, you knew that Marvel was building towards something, right? In the Infinity Saga.
Yeah, we knew.
It was novel. So there was just like, we were getting to see different versions of characters we didn't see. Then you had the Spider-Man, the Black Panther, you know, we had these moments. COVID happened. And so they tried to be like, hey, we here for you for the COVID shit. Like we gonna hold you down during COVID. And like for the nerds, it was cool at first. But even I never finished Moon Knight, or like I didn't watch Ms. Marvel. I didn't watch all these other shows. I was like,
yeah, Moon Knight was nice. I like Moon Knight.
I got to like episode 5 or 6 or whatever, and I was like, all right, I'm all right. I don't really care no more. So that was me. But it wasn't bad though. But like, don't be like, it's our most dark, heavy, twisted show. And I'm like, Nick, this is PG. This is TV 14.
Yeah.
I liked Werewolf by Night. I liked the Guardians of the Galaxy special. I liked the Guardians movie. Shang-Chi was straight, but like I'm kind of nothing on it. Like personally, like it wasn't a bad movie, but it didn't move the needle for me too much.
Yeah, it's forgotten. I like Eternals.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
But they said they're not bringing it back, so.
I mean, that cast is expensive.
Yeah, it was, but it was a long movie. It was like 2.5 hours or something like that.
You gotta knock out the park if you.
But it was a good movie. Like people that watched it, they liked it. But I don't think a lot of people watched it, so then they didn't get.
I wanted to see it, but I just didn't hear it enough.
Yeah, I went to the theaters to watch that, and it wasn't a lot of people there. Sorry, so I know
nobody was talking. People was like,
nobody really hyped it up because it was right after the events. After Infinity War, everything after Infinity War, there was a lot of just.
Yeah, and that I don't think audience.
I think it's either right. It's right around Infinity War. I'm trying to think that. I feel kind of old now.
No, Eternals came out in like 22, bro, or 20.
Yeah, so it was after Infinity War.
Yeah, it was a couple years after. It was a few years. Like but No Way Home had come out. Like, Ep.4 was, it's black, so I kind of had to support it. But No Way
Home was probably the last movie that was like big that people, maybe Wolverine and Daredevil, Wolverine and
Deadpool. Yeah, that was cool. That was alright. Like it was funny, but. It wasn't.
It wasn't the same as the original.
Yeah, no. The first two Deadpool movies were really funny. I didn't think this one was as funny.
Yeah, it wasn't.
or as substantive, like plot wise. Like
they didn't have much going on in it.
Yeah, it just felt like they were dicking around for 2 hours.
They definitely were.
That's what it felt
They
like.
definitely were. Because when it was like, you could tell when they were in the freaking. No, I ain't gonna say it. But.
No, bro, it's like that. Sorry, go watch the movie. But it came out almost a year ago. Like
when I forgot the dimension, whatever it was. But when they went in there,
the void,
they were just messing around.
Yo, Chris Evans just like pulled up on the bullshit. I
was like, bruh.
He's like, I'll never be Cap again, but I'll be Johnny Storm for a couple hours. Like
he was. Yeah, they did it on purpose.
And
they had Blade. They had.
That's what got Blade killed. That's what canceled Blade.
That must have been what canceled. Yeah.
Before
and then Gambit, but even the Gambit, everybody didn't take him serious. It was all jokes.
Yeah, bro. Gambit was the best part of that movie, though.
It was.
That shit was funny as hell, bro.
I'm about to make a name for myself here. No, they gotta make a Gambit show after that. They have to make a Gambit show after that.
Well, he's in Doomsday.
Let's see. Nah, he gotta have a show.
I just want us to let go of them X-Men, bro. That era of X-Men, because he was supposed to have his own movie.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but let's just have some new X-Men. That's my wish for Marvel. Let the kids have a new X-Men, bro. We had the X-Men. You know, like if y'all gonna keep rebooting shit, just let the kids have their X-Men. You know, I don't need old ass Patrick Stewart. Like, let him rest. No, but yeah, I think Thunderbolts will be cool too.
Thunderbolts gonna be real good.
Yeah,
I think Thunderbolts will be pretty good.
Yeah.
I like Thunderbolts, especially they introduced them. Well, I think they already introduced them, but
I'm excited to see Ghost come back from the Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, I'm excited for her character. She seemed cool.
Ghost?
Yeah. She could phase through shit. Ant-Man is a very underwhelming series to me.
Yeah.
Ant-Man is probably the most underwhelming Marvel series.
Definitely is. But he plays such a big role.
Yeah.
He played such a big role. He played a big role in the previous. Well, movies.
Like he was to Endgame. He was a big, and even Civil War.
But in
too.
the comic books, his character is really important.
Well, he's
Hank Pym
yeah.
in the comics.
But apparently he's like a domestic abuser, so they're just like, we're not using him. We're gonna do Scott Lang. We talked a little bit about Black Mirror, but I think we could maybe.
I think we talked enough. It just came out, so I don't want to say too much.
And I didn't watch it.
And I might say too much. Okay. I know myself.
I'll watch the season. Was it good?
Oh yeah. Oh, it was so good.
It was good, okay.
Bro. It was so good that I went back to season 6 to make sure I didn't miss any episodes, and I was like, dang, I know what's about to happen in every episode, and I was like, okay, let me go back to season 5. Nope, I seen all of them.
So I didn't watch the newest season, I don't think, before this one. So I might have a nice little Black Mirror.
So good.
Like, the only problem is that should be having you depressed, like if you watch too much of it at once.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that's why I didn't watch it. I was like,
I could watch a full season in a day, but any more than a full season, and I watched another season, I might start being like, dang,
it's like
this stuff really about to happen for real.
That's what I'm saying. They low-key be feeling like
it's like if you watch The Handmaid's Tale. I watched The Handmaid's Tale the first season. After the first season, I was like, I can't watch this no more. I started watching it.
I'm not big on dystopian TV. Like,
I
like to chill out, watch vibes. Yeah. Like, I watch like a good comic book dystopia show or some shit like that. But I'm definitely for the vibes, for the laughs.
It's like The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
I watched like 5 seasons of it.
I couldn't.
And then after somebody died, and I was like, I'm done.
I couldn't.
I didn't finish it. I was like, nope.
I can't watch dreary ass shows like that, bro. Like I can watch some, like I like good well-made shows, but like I ain't gonna lie, like I watched Better Call Saul, and it's a good show, but I'm like, dog, this shit taking too long, bro. Like I don't need it to be a fast-paced show, but like they be chewing the hell out the scenery.
Wrap it up.
I be like, damn,
dude,
bro, like
I'm not gonna lie, Suits was like that. Yeah, they had like 8 seasons. I'm like, golly, y'all still having these cases?
Yeah. And like, well, I don't mind like a show like Suits.
Suits is good. It was really.
I just
good,
throw
though.
that shit. Like, I'm not gonna watch it for real. I'm gonna just throw it on in the background if that's on.
How I Met Your Mother was like that.
Yeah, they really ruined How I Met Your. Like, I've never watched that show like really again after that shit.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't watch How I Met Your Father. I ain't watched none of that shit.
I just watched the clips. Like the clips are enough for me to get through.
But I will never rewatch that show. Like the ending. That's probably the worst. Not like it wasn't like a horrible ending itself. It wasn't a good ending, but it wasn't like the worst. But I think just
the lead up to it, just for it to end like that.
Yeah, bro. I was like, bro, we spent a whole season on this, and you just okay, and then she just dead, and then he go to Robin. Like it wasn't even if she died would have pissed me off, but I'd have been like, oh, that's tragic, man. But then for him to go to get Robin. For the fifth time? Nah, bro, I was tweaking.
Fifth time is generous. He just probably went back like 20 times.
How many times? Bro, she married your mans. She married your mans.
The same mans that had a playbook.
Who?
It had a bro code about not.
And then here's the thing. She married your mans who she got with after you. Then you got back with her, I think, at some point.
Oh, they were just hitting it.
I'm like, dog, this is the nastiest friend group in the world, bro. This is a nasty friend group.
That's that.
Hey, dog, the 2-man tag on the homegirl is crazy. One of you married her and then you divorced her and then you went back with her, dog. That's not player, man. There's a situation that we was talking about before. I ain't gonna talk about it because it's fucked up and it's not really important. But things that had happened in that situation, that's that level of not playerness where you're like, how you go, bro? She married your man's. It's like you had a whole episode about letting go of this woman. And you went back to her after your wife died. And you told your kids an 8-year-long story about trying to get back with your old work, bro. And say, yo, kids, let me tell you how much your mother so that you know that I love her so I can go talk to Robin. My man, this finale came out 11 years ago. I still feel this way. I was 16 when this final came out, bro, and I still hate this. That's how much.
Hey, man. Yeah.
They might catch me on the sneak episode on the rerun because we got cable in the house, but I'm never throwing that on.
Not intentionally. Nope.
It also didn't age that well either. Just
it didn't really age.
Yeah, just when you watch it back, you be like.
A lot of that stuff that Barney was doing, man.
It's like Quagmire a little bit. It'd be
like he locked that man up.
And also Ted's just annoying.
Who?
Ted.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah. Only good.
No, I started reading going on Reddit, and then they started making points. I'm like, you know what? They right.
No, bro. I used to like Ted.
Right.
So there's a YouTuber. I think what is her name? Olanati or whatever. And she was talking about how Ted is like a piece of shit for. Remember Victoria?
Man,
how he
did
her.
Yeah,
how he did her. She left her husband.
She was the. I thought she was the best. I thought she was the.
Bro, Ted did her the foulest.
It should have been over in 2 seasons. That should have been it.
Yeah, don't bring her back, bro. That was the most disrespectful, flagrant. Like that's what she was saying in the video. Go watch. It's like Illuminati. I forgot her name, but I'll send a link to you because I was watching her break it down, and it's black women gonna read you the whole total filth. So she tore that. I was like, nah, Ted really is diabolical.
Nah, he was.
He's a sociopath. Bro said, yo, how many weddings has Ted stopped, bro? Like you feel me? Like this man is a menace, bro. Anyway. But to close, we were talking about pettiness. And I ain't gonna pettiness because that sounded crazy. I had to enunciate that a little better. I was like pettiness. Oh, see, then pettiness. I feel like I'm petty, but for sport, not like for like results. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay. All right, motherfucker. Like, okay. All right. Let's get to it. Let's. So like, like I just feel like my petty I use as a tool, but also like I feel like you gotta be petty forever. Like you can't like never. If you gonna be petty once you get into a petty and petty don't mean I'm always at your head. It don't mean like, oh, okay, like every day I'm like you my enemy. No, I don't like you could be my enemy. I'm gonna be petty, but you could be my enemy. I'm not gonna be petty to you, right? You just my enemy. Like I just don't fuck with you. Like that's all it is. But when I'm locked in on some petty shit, I don't think I could ever let it go. I might have to cut that part. I had to cut that part out. But yeah. What are your thoughts as Africa?
About pettiness?
Yeah.
I mean, the only way I deal with it, Yes.
Would you say you're petty?
I would say if I'm too close to a situation, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
why you gotta distance yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
Like most of the time I catch myself, but sometimes I'll say something I'm like, oh, that was kind of petty. I shouldn't have done that. And then even you try to apologize, sometimes it's too late. But usually I catch it before I do something that I regret. But that takes time. And sometimes you don't have time, or you don't think you have time, but you do. You do.
So like, I'm very, if it's up, it's stuck, right? But like, I do think over time it dissipates, right? Like, I think over time, like, you start looking back and you like, all right, like, so like, okay, like, it's like, it has to be a matter of convenience of my pettiness, right? Like, it's not like I'm going to go out of my way to be petty once I'm removed from a situation, right? But I think life is a series of like consistently reminding people who you are, what you want to do, what you stand for, what you don't stand for, right? Because people either forget or they try to test the boundaries of what they can get past you, right? And so I think for me, I think there's value in if somebody is making it a point to make me and my like well-being or lack thereof like on the presence of mind, like I will take advantage of the fact that like you are probably thinking about me, you are trying to do certain things and like do subtle shit to kind of fuck with the situation, right? Like, but not like, oh, I'm actively trying to root for you to fail or like I'm directly shading you, right? It's just like I'm gonna make it a point to stun on you, and I'm gonna make it a point to maybe not necessarily like do something to trip you up or like, but I will let you know like, hey, yeah, like you still were wrong, and I'm gonna make sure you remember why you were wrong, subtly in different ways forever. And I think that's like not I'm not gonna say that's like a great habit. Like I'm not gonna say that
it's probably not.
Yeah, but I do think there's some parts of it where it's about, okay, no, I can forgive you, but I can't forget. Right? You know what I'm saying? There's some lines that I think as people, as humans in situations where once you've crossed that, like once the trust or once the once you aggress a certain way towards somebody, it's hard. It's in your best interest as a person to let it go, right? It's in your best interest as like a man or as an entity to let it go. But letting it go, is it okay? No, now there's never any conflict, or oh, okay, I see you when I don't want like you to have to still deal with the shit you did. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the human element of it, where it's like, I think we preach like, yo, just let that shit go. But like for me, like sometimes it's just, no, it's still up. Like I'm not going to indulge in it, but I still feel it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's me though.
Yeah, it's just a matter of if you're gonna. But you can't. Yeah, but
you can't let it. You can't feed into it, really.
Yeah, you gotta try your hardest not to lash out at someone, but then they'll take it the wrong way. It'll escalate.
Yeah.
And then you end up doom or something.
Well, that's why I try to be petty, not like aggressive. Like, you know
but
what I'm saying?
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
That's where whenever you watch like Law and Order, SVU, you start seeing like the little things that just escalate small. Then,
yeah, that's true.
Then it goes doom. Now you're the episode of Law and Order SVU.
Yeah.
So you don't want that.
Yeah,
we don't want that.
You making points. I mean, I think like in terms of like situations where things could be dangerous or whatever, like I definitely am not like gonna sit around and be petty too much, right? Because I feel like there are certain confrontations, right, where you can defend yourself as a man or whatever, but you have to know going into that situation that this might be an outcome that's not good for your health, for your you might get killed, you might ruin your reputation. So I don't think escalating pettiness with situations that can turn into that, but I do think things where it's like, all right, bro, like I'm gonna get this fuck you off because you near me. Like, fuck you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I am okay with that for me, like, in my life.
Yeah.
And other people, I get why this is not what they want to do. I get it. But for some people, it's just like, no, you gonna get this fuck you forever. Like, it's just, there's nothing you can do about it. There's no piecing it up. There's no, hey, I learned my lesson. Like, cool. I'm happy you learned your lesson. I wish you the best in every avenue except being in my life. It's always fuck you. Like, but like,
yeah, I get that.
Over there, yeah, good, go have life, have friends, but no, you never have access to me, and you never have my like good graces again. Like, you don't get to just be like, and you shouldn't have to work for it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it should. I think sometimes we like want people to work for like that approval back. I don't want to have a relationship where I'm sitting there saying, oh, hey, like, now you get to be, because I've had that. Where I've been treated that way and where I've treated people that way, and I don't think that that's healthy. So let's just let that fuck you be fuck you and move on. Unless our relationship is strong. Like, if we have a strong relationship and we're just going through some shit, that's a whole different situation. But if you've done everything in your power to try to fuck with me or fuck me over or try to make me look bad or crazy, and I never brought that energy to you, then yeah, it has to be fuck. Because I didn't even do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And from my vantage point, so that's where my petty comes from, I think. Talking to you, motherfucker.
Dang.
No, anyway, all right.
Violence against equipment now.
No. The first I talked about Op watching this because I know y'all be stalking motherfuckers, man.
You safe.
Huh? Ain't nothing. Yeah, nothing gonna happen to you. I'm just
equipment safe.
Yeah, the equipment's safe. Nothing gonna happen to my ops either, because I don't have no ops that I recognize. But like, there's no official op list. But if you one of the weirdos who are watching, yeah, fuck you. Like, anyway, any last more peaceful? I started healthy. I ended toxic.
Yeah, you did.
So, any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Bless. He is risen.
Happy Easter.
For me, accept the fact that you have fucked up shit in you, but don't let that shit rule you. Don't let that shit control. Don't even really let it motivate you, bro. I think the only thing you should let motivate you for real is the opportunity to get better and learn from your mistakes and learn from the moments that you had difficulties, because we're reflections of each other. And so sometimes how you treat others is how others treat you. Sometimes how you interpret things is the outcome that you create for yourself. So just accept the fact that you ain't perfect either, and that you fucked up some part of the situation too, yeah.
And it's kind of perfect coming into the Easter season with Lent.
Repentance.
Yeah, the last day of Lent. And then I think Ramadan also happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
Inshallah.
I think this is around the time to reflect on. Well, actually, you should reflect every day, but.
Well, okay. I know I was kind of wrapping up, but just one little last point I want to make. I think about how we start the year in January, but when does spring happen? In March, April, right? And so like, I'm not gonna say I was treating the year like that, but I felt like I was coming out of stuff and being able to see more clearly and see the proof of my work in March, April, as opposed to January, February. So also, if things have been kind of hard and they're trying to turn it around, think about the cycle of the earth and how seasons shift, and not just what the calendar or what like society. Like, listen to your body and listen to the natural rhythm of the world. Like,
yeah, daylight savings just happened,
right?
Like a month ago. Yeah,
there's more energy. There's more. Obviously, it gets warmer, but I don't think that's all that goes into it. So, think about yourself, man. Think about your surroundings, and it's love. I'm Tone.
PK.
Peace, bro. Look, I didn't understand.
That's that quick